Welcome back, guys. This is the King of Weebs, and this is what if Naruto's parents survived the night of the the night of the attack. Well, it's just going to be what if Naruto's parents survived, part one. Anyways, we begin this what if with Minato and Kushina, trapping the Narutos within the barrier, within the Uzumaki chains, and no one can really come inside because of the barrier that Kushina put up. Now, Kushina told Minato to seal the nine-tailed beast into her and take it to the grave. However, Minato says, if I put the beast back inside you, Kushina, you won't die. Do you realize that? Kushina's eyes widened in shock as she asked, what do you mean? I thought that once it's out, I'm dead. Minato then shook his head, saying, no, that's not how it works. I found out just recently, thanks to a prophecy and a few stories told by the Toads while I was out on my Sage Mode training a few months ago. So, you won't die if I seal it back inside of you. However, I believe our son, Naruto, is more than capable of enough to handle it. Kushina's eyes, widened even further as she then scolded Minato, saying, scolded Minato for even thinking to put the beast inside Naruto. Minato then shook his head once again, saying, no, Kushina, you need to understand, Naruto is the child of prophecy, and the only way we can save the shinobi world is by sealing the beast inside Naruto. Kurama was still tied up, as Kushina was holding strong for now. Anyways, now, Kushina then looked down, saying, Minato, I don't want Naruto to go through all this pain. The hatred that the village has for the Nine-Tails, Naruto will have to bear it all. Then Minato says, don't worry, Kushina. It's our son after all. He'll be able to do whatever, if he wills to. As he says that, he then prepares a new sealing technique that he created, which won't take his life. However, it will render him unable to move for the next few weeks, as Minato goes on to seal a bit of the chakra of the Nine-Tails in Kushina and the rest of it in Naruto. Kushina remained alive, and Naruto would have an 8 trigram seal on his now stomach. On his now stomach? What? Anyways, now, Minato would then collapse, as Kushina would faint as well, with Naruto crying. The barrier would go down, as the third Hokage would arrive just in time to see the barrier go down. The third Hokage was praying and hoping for the best, and hoping that the worst didn't go through. As he came, he then saw Naruto crying, as he picked him up and went on to see whether Kushina and Minato was okay or were they dead. That was the last thing he wanted them to be, as then he found out, fortunately, they were both still alive. He was confused because he saw that Naruto had the seal of the Nine-Tails, but then how's Kushina still alive? They still didn't understand until Kushina woke up and she saw Naruto was okay, and Minato was already awake by that time. However, he was still in bed as he couldn't move. Minato would smile at Kushina as she would call him an idiot, and she would cry tears of joy. We will have a time skip of 4 years, as Naruto would now be 4 years old, walking with his mother through the village. The village would glare at Naruto, however
smile at Kushina, which pissed her off. Kushina would glare back at every single one of the people, every single person that would dare to glare at her child. Now, Naruto would have grown up with the love and affection of his parents, Minato also making time for him, as he would leave a clone to do most of the work in the Hokage Tower. Today, Minato unfortunately had a very important meeting with the daimyo, so he couldn't be with Naruto and Kushina. Now, Naruto would ask his mother to start training him on this day, as Kushina was actually waiting for this day. Although she was very overprotective of Naruto, she knew that Naruto would eventually come to know about ninjas and what they are, as they've hinted to Naruto that, you know, being a ninja is basically what they want him to do. But if that's not part of his agenda, then they're more than alright with it. Now, had to drink a bit. Now, obviously, Kushina would be excited to begin his training, as she would get a head start over Minato, teaching him the basics of chakra control. His chakra wouldn't be very good, especially because he was just a 4-year-old, but unlocking it was quite easy. For some reason, Naruto had a knack for it. Anyways, Kushina would then go on to teach Naruto how to use his chakra properly. She wouldn't go into any jutsu training, as she wanted Naruto to be a pro at chakra control. Thus, she would begin the tree walking exercise. The tree walking exercise would take Naruto a few tries, not too many, as you know, it would have taken him in the original, because of Naruto's prodigious behavior style. But Naruto's a prodigy, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. Naruto would easily get this after a few tries. After falling on his head a few times, Kushina would run to him, try heal him, but Naruto just stopped her, saying that this is part of the process. As Naruto said, no pain, no gain, as that's what he read in one of his father's many of his father's books. Anyways, now, it was actually one of Jiraiya's books that Minato was reading. Anyways, now, Naruto would then go on to master the tree climbing exercise with ease, basically, compared to the original Naruto, and Kushina would be ecstatic to see that her son was growing up fast and quick and strong, especially as for a 4-year-old to do this was utterly out of the question, as most 4-year-olds at this time would be at the park playing, sleeping, or doing something much different than training, especially ninja training. Now, Kushina would be happy with Naruto and say that, you know, for today maybe that's where they should stop, as clearly Naruto seems quite tired, as he had to focus a lot, and they would continue tomorrow. However, Naruto would say no, he wants to continue, and Kushina just smiled once again, saying, alright, if that's what you want, I won't go easy on you, my little child. As then Kushina would begin to train him in the walking exercise, as they had a little pond in the backyard. Now, Naruto would fall into it many times, for hours in fact. For some reason, Naruto found this one harder than the other one, although it shouldn't really be too different, as Naruto would only have to do the same exact thing as with the tree. However, water is much more different than an actual piece of wood. Thus, Naruto found it really hard to master this one. However, eventually he would get it after 2 or 3 hours of continuous trying. But this time, it was already around 8 p.m. and Minato would be back. Minato would see Naruto actually finally succeeding in his task, as Kushina would try calling him in to have a bath and then dinner, and she would also see Naruto basically be able to walk, jump, even backflip, which she never knew Naruto could do that on the pond. Now, both of Naruto's parents were very happy with Naruto, and in fact they went out to give him a big hug out of their own pride and their basically excitement over their son becoming taking one step closer to being the greatest shinobi alive, as that was what Naruto always wanted to be. Anyways, now, Naruto would continue training from the next day, and Minato would realize that, you know, this is the time where he should teach Naruto the most, as he's still young, and currently nothing bad is going on. Although it's been only 4 years since the Ninetales attack, the village has turned out to be growing and regrowing much quicker. And this time, Danzo wasn't in the way, trying to basically push the actual push out to the Uchiha clan to the outskirts of the village. Sorry, my brain just disappeared for a second there. Anyways, now Minato would not let this go, and he would not allow it, because he's the Hokage. He does not care what the council thinks. His order is the basically final and most important order. If he says no, then even if the whole entire council says yes, they can't really go against it. This is the Hokage. If the Hokage leaves, they're fucked. Literally. Now, obviously, Minato would say no to this, especially because he's on good terms with Fugaku. In fact, they were actually quite good friends, and the wives were best of friends. They were best friends, literally. Now, obviously, Naruto would continue training with Minato and Kushina, learning both Kenjutsu and Fuinjutsu, as Kushina was and Kushina and Minato were both Fuinjutsu masters, especially Minato, as you know, he perfected the Flying Raijin, which he wanted to pass on to his son. He would tell Naruto about the jutsu, and Naruto would be excited about it, and he would tell him that he would need at least a level 10 mastery over Fuinjutsu first, and Naruto is still a beginner at it, not even completing level 1. Anyways, now, we will have a time skip of 2 years here, as Naruto would continue training in jutsus, taijutsu, well, pretty much everything everything that a ninja could do, a samurai could do, especially as well because of the kenjutsu part as well, basically samurai swordsmanship training. But anyways, now Kushina would be very happy to see that Naruto has grown up really well, and he's actually getting along with his new best friend Tsuki Uchiha, which is actually a female version of Sasuke. Sasuke doesn't have a sister or nothing like that. I can already see me getting confused. So much is what if. Now, Tsuki and Naruto would be best of friends, as they would always train, play, and hang out together, and even sleep together at certain times, as they would stay over at each other's house. And obviously, the two families became very close, thanks to their children's, even closer than what they already were, thanks to their children's, friendship. Now, Itachi would act as an older brother to both Naruto and Tsuki, as the two were basically, the two families were basically one big family at this point. But anyways, now, Naruto would be much stronger than Tsuki, and he would also be basically as prodigious as Itachi was when he was a child, which Fugaku would actually point out to Minato. And Minato, being the humble guy he is, would say Naruto might be very prodigious, maybe more prodigious than him, but Itachi is something completely different. Itachi at this age, he's about 7 years older than Naruto, so he's 13 at the time. And this time, although his illness wasn't actually there yet, or it actually was there, but it was still growing and taking his body bit by bit, it wasn't still something that affected Itachi yet. Now, Naruto would continue his training, and by the time there were 8, Naruto and Tsuki would enroll in the academy, holding hands basically, literally together. Everything they did was together. Naruto would make a lot of friends in this wave, although also being known as the Hokage's child, and a lot of people finally getting over the Nine Tails thing and actually starting to see the actual Naruto, and they started loving Naruto because he seemed like the kindest boy that they've ever met. Naruto was loved throughout the village, and this would actually make Naruto happy, as in his early years he was mostly stared at with disgust and hatred, but eventually the village got over it, just like Minato had predicted. He knew that the village would get over it by seeing the true nature of Naruto, and they saw how Naruto is a stark opposite than the Nine Tails. He smiles, he also greets people with respect, he treats them with respect as well, and he's always friendly, whereas the Nine Tails is someone he's pure hatred. He's literally made out of hatred, according to them, although that's not true. Now, Naruto would always wonder what the Nine Tails was. He would always try to contact the Nine Tails in some way or form, as he would try meditating. Naruto is a massive prodigy, by the way. He's big brain. Like, when I say big brain, I mean big brain, yeah? He's bigger brain than Itachi, the big brain. But anyways, now, obviously, Naruto would join the academy and easily pass all the tests. However, eventually he would get bored of them, which would, in turn, make him want to fail more. As, not for attention, but Naruto just didn't want to try in the academy. Iruka actually didn't like this from Naruto, and he would actually reprimand him many times, and even tell his father. But his father father actually told Iruka to just let it slide, just for this once, as long as Naruto passes the final exam, that's all that matters, right? Although Iruka was kinda against this, he also understood that if Naruto was to just try and be the best at everything, then the other kids would be demoralized and not really try, as they know that they will never be able to beat the son of the fourth. This would kind of create a little bad aura behind Naruto, or bad reputation behind Naruto, but then again, they all know that Naruto is truly the smartest in the class, as they've seen it for half a year how Naruto was always at the top, exponentially better than everyone, but then eventually he just stopped trying because he got bored of it. Anyways, now Naruto would continue his training with his parents as a Tsuki. Tsuki would have started training with her older brother and her parents as well. Recently, not recently, a few years ago, about 2 years ago, when she actually became best friends with Naruto, as she actually wanted to be on the same level as Naruto was. Now, Naruto and Tsuki would spar every day. However, there would be a clear difference between the Sharingan user and the next yellow flash of the leaf, as Naruto's speed and aggression during fights was something to be afraid of, as clearly Naruto's speed was formidable and pretty much at this point on par as Minato's was, as he can actually use this flying Raijin, so already putting him at a Jonin level threat. Anyways, now Naruto would have actually unlocked his 5th and final chakra release, as this would have impressed his parents, and they would have realized that they can't teach him every single chakra nature, so they actually asked the former Hokage to actually teach Naruto, as Sarutobi, who would have actually treated Naruto as his own grandchild. For some reason, he always had that little connection with Naruto, and Naruto loved the old man, as the two would hang out a lot when he actually had to be babysitted by someone, and they trusted the old Kage very, very much. Anyways, now the old Kage would have actually helped Naruto train in the 5 chakra natures, as he had all 5 of them, mastery over all 5 chakra natures, and being very proficient with each one, especially when Naruto was training. He would also be very good at training Naruto, especially because he trained the great Stanin of the Leaf Village. Now, Naruto would have continued training for the next 4 years with the Hokage, with the third Hokage, and also Jiraiya popping in here and there, teaching Naruto a few little tricks, especially the summoning jutsu, and Naruto would be able to summon Gamabunta on his first try, and he would also tell Naruto how to access the fox. By accessing his own mind, he would be able to access the fox. Otherwise, he could also try to figure out how to access it through the sealing formula that is actually on his stomach, as Naruto is now a level 7 Fuinjutsu user, not a level 10 like Jiraiya, or like Jiraiya, Minato, or Kushina. And anywho, now at this point, Shisui Uchiha, who also was alive, would have been killed by Danzo in secret. Unfortunately, even though Shisui was very fast, Danzo was able to lure him in and set up an even better trap than the original one, and he was also able to kill Shisui before Shisui could give his eye to Itachi. Itachi eventually would have actually been sent out to infiltrate the the Akatsuki, just like in the original, but not as a rogue ninja, as an undercover ninja who would actually go rogue in the eyes of many. And obviously the Hokage would have had a long conversation with both the Uchiha clan head and the whole of the Uchiha clan, which would have agreed after Itachi would have wished to do this himself, as the Uchiha clan thought that Itachi was being forced to do this, as it was his duty of being part of the leaf force, ninja force of the leaf. But if Itachi really wants to do it, then they really cannot say anything, as Itachi is his own person, and he can make his decisions as this is his life, no one else's but him. Now, Naruto would have been very sad that Itachi left the village, and Tsuki would have. I keep getting confused with Sasuke and Tsuki and create Satsuki, although she's kind of a original character by some other few wife YouTubers. And anyways, I think I use her sometimes as well. But anyways, Tsuki would have been devastated by this news. However, Itachi promised her that when he returns, he will teach her everything that he knows, and also teach her a few new tricks that he'll learn over his time at the Akatsuki. Now, Naruto, he would have, mastered all 5 chakra natures at this point, and pretty much was about to be given his first rank as a shinobi, Genin. Although he's literally a Jonin at this point, they wouldn't have actually put him at Jonin rank because of the lack of experience and his parents being very strict. Naruto would have also been a level 9 Fujitsu user at this point. He was very, very overpowered. This Naruto in this, what if, is very strong. However, we're not talking about Naruto's normal strength, we're talking about Naruto's endeavors on how he will be able to conquer the Nine Tails' hatred, as Naruto has already made his first few steps in connecting with the Nine Tails and asking the Nine Tails for its name and, why it hates humanity so much. The Nine Tails would always remain dormant, not answering, or sometimes just kicking him out of his own mindscape, which Naruto always found very annoying. This is his mind. How the flip is he getting kicked out of his own mind? What's this? This is not Kurama's mind. Obviously, he doesn't know that that's Kurama, or he has a name in the first place. But anyway, now Naruto would have read a lot of history books to do with the Nine Tails, and he would, stumble upon one very special book, which not many read. As not many could actually see the true nature behind the book and the true message behind the book. This was an ancient book which hasn't been touched in centuries. This book was passed down through generation and generation of not shinobi, but simple, very simple people which used to worship the Nine Tails. And these, this book had accounts of how the Nine Tails came to be. Naruto read through the book, learnt about the Sage of Six Paths, learnt about his powers, learnt how great he was, how he was able to create, what is now known as ninjutsu, or the foundations of it. Obviously, Indra was the one to actually weaponize it, basically, letting normal people use it as weapons, basically. And eventually, now, we have shinobi. But anyways, now, Naruto would understand a lot more, as he now knew about the Ten Tails. He knew the story behind Kurama, behind how the Nine-Tailed Beasts, 9 Biju, came about. And then he went on to go into the Forest of Death, where he found the most peace at for some reason. Naruto, although being that bright light for many, the bright light in the darkness for many people, he also had his own darkness. For some reason, he really enjoyed being around danger. Naruto was more like the Nine Tails than anyone else thought he was. Although he doesn't have that kind of hatred, he has that kind of aura. That killer intent that he gives out when he's truly angry could be considered to be on par with Madara Uchiha's or even the Nine Tails itself, as when the Nine Tails was summoned 12 years ago. He gave off so much killer intent that many would just faint from breathing in that kind of killer intent. But anyways, now Naruto would go on to meditate, as the animals around, the beasts around would gather, as every time Naruto did meditate, they somehow found peace within it, which showed Naruto's attributes and his likeness to the Sage of Six Paths, who brought peace to the world after beating Kaguya with his other brother, Hamura. But anyways, now Naruto would enter his mindscape and see that the Nine Tails was actually awaiting him, looking Naruto in the eyes. Naruto would then say, I know about your history now, and I guess you have all the right to hate us humans. As Naruto would then sit down and say to the Nine Tails, if he truly hates humans, then Naruto promises him, as soon as he's able to unite the shinobi nations, he himself will let the Nine Tails free, and he would let her roam freely around this planet, even if it means his death. The Nine Tails scoffed, saying, "Humans are just full of lies. Killer intent. Well, not killer intent. The intent. Humans are full of lies, and always deceive people, especially shinobi like you. Deception is the main skill of a shinobi. So why would I ever believe you?" Although Kurama could actually feel Naruto's true emotions, he wouldn't want to believe Naruto as just the hatred that he felt towards him, or towards humans in general, really pushed him towards not liking Naruto and not trusting him, although he could feel that Naruto was being truthful. Naruto would then go on to say, "How can I make you believe me? I don't understand. I want to understand what you went through." And the Nine Tails then looked at Naruto in confusion, and then scoffed and laughed, saying, "You do not want to feel how I felt. The things I've gone through are much worse than any human can ever handle." And Naruto would then retort at this, saying that if that's the only way to get through to him, then he will go through all of it. He will go around the shinobi world and understand what it means to be a shinobi, and what pains the Nine Tails had to go through. The Nine Tails would then actually be shocked at Naruto and then smile, so, thinking to himself, "This kid's got something. I can feel it. Maybe he... No, what am I thinking? He can't be the one Father was talking about. He's too loud and brash. What Father was talking about was someone who would be strong, someone who would bring peace to the world, even greater peace than he could ever. There's no way. This is not that kid. There's no way. I refuse." Obviously, and Kurama would not want to believe that Naruto is really the person that the Sage of Six Paths were talking about all those centuries ago. Thus, he decides to tell Naruto, or give Naruto, one option and one option only. Leave the Leaf Village. I don't care how you do it, if you become a rogue shinobi, or if you tell your parents that you're going to be out for a long excursion. I don't care how you do it. I want you to go around the world and see how it is. Truly feel the pain I went through and understand what hatred truly means. The cycle of hatred is everywhere. It's within this village. In fact, you've already actually come in contact with it. All those people who hated you, but then switched up instantly after a few years. That's what that cycle of hatred is. No matter where you go, hatred will always be present. Do you understand? That's your only choice. Go around the world for a few years. Then when you feel that you're ready, come back to the Leaf Village. And then fight me. Fight me at your full power. And whoever wins, well, if you win, I'll give you all the respect you demand, and I'll tell you everything, and I'll even start trying to be your friend. But if I win, then you let me free, no matter what the cost is." Naruto would smile, saying no matter what happens, he'll be able to do it. As Kurama was utterly shocked, he was completely taken aback. He thought that Naruto was smart in this. This was literally a joke. He'd never really understood Naruto and how Naruto thought of things. Naruto took it really head on, literally. And when he heard Naruto accepting, he was confused, as then Naruto disappeared from his mindscape, opening his eyes in the forest of death. As all the beasts were now asleep, it was now complete nightfall. It was dark outside. Naruto knew that he would be in trouble when he entered home, as it's already past the time of his curfew. Naruto would then teleport home, as it wouldn't take him too much effort to get home. Kushina would already be waiting in his room with Minato, as they were both worried for Naruto. Minato would smile at Naruto, as seeing that Naruto was actually training. He could feel it. He could feel something different within Naruto. New conviction. But he knew something was wrong. Kushina instantly scolded Naruto. Naruto just smiled, realizing that this would be the final night, the final evening he would spend with his parents for a long time. At the dinner table, Naruto would then start up a conversation as they were all eating happily. and obviously talking about how their day went. Naruto would then say, I talked to the Ninetales today. Kushina would then, perk up at this. She knew that Naruto tried to talk to the Ninetales many times, and this might be very interesting, and every time they did speak, it was quite boring. However, she too, obviously her motherly senses kicking in, knew that something was different about Naruto today. She saw the new conviction in his eyes, but she was worried. For some reason, she knew something sad would happen tonight. However, she had already prepared herself for this, as she knew that if Naruto set his mind to something, they really couldn't do anything, and she trusts Naruto with everything. She trusts whatever his choice is, he will be able to, go through it and be the best he can, and do the best he can, and most likely succeed in what he's doing. Naruto would then speak up, saying, I've decided to leave leave Konoha. Both his parents would stand up and ask him, what's going on, Naruto? Is everything alright? Naruto would have already graduated by now, by the way. Naruto would have been put in a team the next day, if only the next day arrived. Naruto would then tell them everything that the Ninetales had told him. He told him that he wants to understand what the Ninetales went through. If he could understand what it went through, then maybe he can come closer to bringing peace to the shinobi world. Which is a shared goal between his father, him, and his godfather, and many other shinobi in this world. Obviously, everyone going their own separate ways. Obviously, Jiraiya going with the writing way. He wants to write books, which can bring peace to the shinobi world. Minato tried by ending a war. However, that didn't work, as he created more tension. And now Naruto wants to try by understanding what everyone goes through. Naruto would then say, I will travel throughout the 5 great nations, throughout every village I come across, every town. I want to understand what everyone has gone through. I want to be able to, take on that hatred from everyone. Take it on himself and bring peace to the shinobi world. These words that Naruto said, obviously, Kurama heard them, as he even shook him to the core. He shook everyone who heard those words to the core. Minato would smile and tell Naruto that whatever he does, he will always be welcome back home. It doesn't matter what he turns out to be, a rogue shinobi, a wanted nin, a killer, a murderer, anything. Minato will always understand that Naruto knows best, and what he does is for the best of everyone else. Is for the greater good. As Naruto has always grown up like this, his goals, he never once stated a selfish goal. He always wanted to be the best for others. He always wanted the best for others. Kushina would then start crying, realizing that realistically she really can't do anything. Minato has already given his permission, so even if she fought back, although she has a lot of the authority in the household, she knew that Naruto would not back down, as Naruto was very stubborn, obviously getting her from her. She would then smile after, crying for a few minutes, saying that, Naruto's an idiot. But then she would say, if that's the way you want to go, then I really have no words. I would no say in what you want to do. Thus, I'll let you do what you want. But make sure you always write to us. I know you're going to be a wandering nin, and most likely be considered a rogue shinobi as you leave the village. And Naruto says, I'll return. However, I want to be considered as a rogue shinobi. And Minato would raise an eyebrow to this and ask why. Then Naruto said, if I'm treated any differently from anyone else who left the village, for example, Itachi, he says Itachi Nichan, he considers him as an older brother, as Itachi left the village as a rogue shinobi, and everyone now hates him. I want to be just like him. Not exactly like him, but I want to know how it feels for everyone to hate you. Now, Minato would understand. However, there would be a select few who knew the truth behind Naruto's decision, and Naruto would tell them that he wants at least a few people to know, as he doesn't want them to hate him. Naruto would go around house by house, for the people who he actually really cared for, and who really needed to know this. He would first go to Kakashi, as Kakashi was another one of the people who really helped Naruto during his life, and he wanted to thank him for everything. Kakashi would give him a big hug, saying that, you remind me a lot of Obito, as Naruto already knew about Obito, especially because his parents were alive. And Naruto would say, I really wish I met your team, Kakashi. Obviously calling him an older brother as well, as Kakashi would tear up, realizing that Naruto was basically Obito's reincarnation at this rate. Obito always had a smile, he always did the things for others, he always did things to make others happy. He always was helpful, he always came late to things just because he was helping others. He would put the others' well-being over his. He would put others' lives before his. Naruto was doing the exact same thing, but on a greater extent, even revealing or even taking the mantle of a rogue shinobi, which was something very, very big. Being called a rogue shinobi would put you in the bingo book, which would mean that any village could come after you, no matter which village it is. Naruto would have to go up against it, and Naruto understood that he would have to do this, and obviously he's taking full responsibility, and thus he trusts Naruto. Naruto would then go to his friend's house, Shikamaru, Choji, Shino, Kiba, and he would tell all of them, about this. Even the third Hokage. The third Hokage would understand Naruto, not shedding a single tear, as he always knew Naruto was a bright young child, and this idea was ingenious to him. However, he understood that the risks behind it, and he would tell Naruto that, he needs to be very, very careful, especially because he's known as the Yondaime's son throughout the villages, throughout every shinobi village, throughout the 5 nations. And if they find out that he's a rogue shinobi now, a lot of nations will go after him. And Naruto says he's fully aware of it, and this is his plan. He wants to understand what others feel like. And obviously, Naruto wants to understand, basically, what this world has, what Kurama went through. Since Kurama was pursued by every single village, basically everyone, and was treated as a weapon, and treated as if he was some sort of demon. Obviously, being a rogue shinobi would basically put you in that kind of pedestal. Everyone would treat you differently. They would treat you as if you're a bad entity. And anyways, now, Naruto would then go on to the last house, the most dreadful one, the one that he knew he would have to put up a fight against. Naruto knew that everyone that he went and talked to would understand his feelings. However, this one, if there was anyone more stubborn than his mother, would be this person, Tsuki. Naruto would walk in, greeting Fugaku and Mikoto, as they would all be, or both of them would be in the living room. Obviously, Tsuki would open the door for Naruto, as she would welcome him. And the two Uchihas were more than happy to see Naruto, as this was basically their other child. He would tell them that he has something to talk about. Fugaku and Mikoto would listen to Naruto and understand instantly that Naruto is going to go through this no matter what happens, and they understand. Fugaku actually calls Naruto a really brave child, as even the 4th Hokage would not be, brave enough to actually go up against all 5 nations. Basically, Naruto is declaring himself as an open target, and he is one of the most wanted heads in the shinobi world, even before he's a, rogue shinobi. However, Tsuki was not having any of it. Tsuki would stand up and tell Naruto that he's not allowed to leave. Naruto would say that he has to. This is his goal. This is part of his plan. This is basically his life. And Tsuki says it doesn't matter. What he's doing is just selfish, and Naruto understands that she would believe that. However, he tells her that no matter what she says, Naruto will go through this, and she needs to understand, and she needs to accept it, because what he has to do, what he's doing has to be done. It has to be done by someone, especially him, whose whole life has been revolved about saving the shinobi world and bringing peace to it. That was his goal since the beginning, and this is just another step to get closer to it. If he can befriend Kurama, if he can understand the hatred that Kurama went through, or the Nine-Tails went through, then what stops him from understanding what everyone else went through? Obviously, everyone thinks that the Nine-Tails is a being made out of pure hatred. However, Naruto says that that's bullshit. No one can be made out of pure hatred. From that book, Naruto understood that Kurama, was a pure being that was made out of ominous chakra. However, he was made to be pure. But it was them It was humans who changed him. It was humans' betrayal who changed him and made him hate them so much. And Naruto wants to understand, and he wants to know why people would do this. And obviously, the simple answer is power. However, there must be a much deeper reasoning for this, and Naruto needs to understand it. Tsuki would then start crying, saying Naruto not to go. But Naruto would tell her that whenever he's back, the first thing he'll do is come and see her. This would comfort her a bit. However, she would still not want Naruto to leave. She would ask when he would be leaving, and Naruto would say most likely tonight. He doesn't want to leave with a massive goodbye, as he still needs to be seen as a rogue shinobi, and they still need to put up the little charade of him escaping the village and the army chasing him, trying to find him. Obviously, they would have to go through all of it. And Tsuki understands, finally accepting the fact. After 3 whole hours, it would already be 11 PM by now. Well, I'd say 12 AM. And Naruto would be ready to leave. Minato and Kushina would still be at the gate. Well, not at the gate, but see Naruto off from his balcony. Obviously, they would make sure to leave Naruto's room as tidy as possible and make it seem as if Naruto just left a note in there and never did anything else other than leave the village. Naruto would have traveled far and wide, and the next morning, oh well, it was already the next morning, but a few hours later, Minato would put in the fact that obviously Naruto has left. This word would travel throughout the village. It would not, it would actually kinda hurt the Hokage's name. However, most people would just blame the Nine Tails. Naruto understood that this might have been this might actually happen, and he understood that he had to go through this, although it would make people hate the Nine Tails even more. However, Naruto knew that in the end all would be good if he returned to the Leaf Village. Anyways, now a search team would go out for Naruto, not finding him obviously. Naruto is the 4th son. Naruto knows the Flying Raijin. Naruto is now a level 9 Fuinjutsu master. He can hide his tracks. He is very strong. He has 5 chakra natures. He has the Rasengan. He also perfected the Rasengan by actually creating the Rasen Shuriken, which Minato can do. However, in the process, he would be basically cutting his own skin and hurting himself. However, it would only be used as dire method to in a dire situation. And also Minato has Sage Mode, which would render him immune to that cutting because of the immense hardening of his body and strengthening of it, which would help him out a lot. Naruto would have already started his Sage Mode training, not finishing it, having imperfect Sage Mode right now, looking a bit like a toad when he uses it. However, Naruto already plans to master it during his long 4-year journey, as he would return when he is 17/16, maybe a bit earlier, depending on when he feels like it. Obviously, you're wondering who would replace Naruto in Team 7. And that would be Naruto's first destination would be the Land of Waves. As Naruto would arrive, he would see desolation. However, we won't do that yet. Naruto would take around a month to get to the Land of Waves. And that's because Naruto would be traveling to every little town, village around before getting to the Land of Waves. He'd meet many people, and one person in particular. As Naruto was walking down the streets of a small town at night, Naruto was actually heading to the closest inn where he could stay and relax for the night, and then take off the next morning. He would actually stumble upon this little shop, which reminded him of Ichiraku Ramen, his favorite place. Obviously, Naruto would to say goodbye there as well, and they knew what Naruto was actually planning. Thus, they never really hated Naruto, like the village. And by the way, the village, yes, the village would have actually finally regained that old hatred that they had for Naruto after Naruto left. Kushina wanted to beat every single one of the villagers that hated Naruto to a pulp. However, she was stopped by the fact that she knew that Naruto was planning all of this. Thus, she held herself back, as she knew that Naruto wouldn't want her to do this. Thus, she won't. Anywho, Kushina would then go to, Naruto would then walk into the little pub, as he would ask for a small bowl of ramen, as they did ramen as well. It was amazing. However, someone else caught his eye, as now Naruto would realize that the legendary Sanin, Tsunade, and Shizune, her assistant, were actually there. Naruto would then look at them and actually question what a legendary Sanin was doing all the way out here. And obviously, she would then recognize who this is. This is Naruto, Naruto Uzumaki, or Naruto Namikaze, Uzumaki Namikaze. Naruto would go actually under Naruto Uzumaki, as he liked the Uzumaki name a bit more than the Namikaze, and obviously this kinda made Kushina more happy than Minato, but Minato really didn't mind. He always knew that Naruto was a nice child, and he knew that he didn't really mean it, right? That's what he thought. But anyways, now, Naruto would ask her what she was doing here, and Tsunade said that she's just spending her last few years of life as she wants to, as being a shinobi is clearly wasn't the way to go. And Naruto would ask what's wrong with her, and obviously Shizune would explain how Tsunade has lost a lot of people, and this would actually hurt Naruto. Naruto would realize that Tsunade has already gone through many of the pains that Naruto needed to understand. So Naruto tries to pry into her, life, which pissed Tsunade off. Obviously, this was a whole month before the whole, a few months before all of the Orochimaru things happened. And also, Orochimaru really doesn't need to go after Sasuke in this way, because there is no Sasuke, there's Tsuki, but there's plenty of Uchihas with Sharingans, so he probably already has a farm of Sharingans somewhere, hidden somewhere. But anyways, now Naruto would then ask Tsunade again, which pissed her off, and she told Naruto to basically F off. But Naruto would tell her that, if he pays for their next meal, then, or the whole meal, then, could she tell her something? And Tsunade would still say no, which Naruto then realized that maybe just bugging her about it is not the way to go, and then he decides to leave. However, before he leaves, I was about to say Kushina, but Tsunade will ask Naruto, why did he leave the Leaf Village? And it's been a few days, by the way, so the bingo book has already been updated. And Naruto said, well, I left the village to understand what it means, what the cycle of hatred truly means. And Tsunade would then ask, don't tell me you're one of Jiraiya's little goons. And as Naruto would say, well, goons is a bit much, don't you say? Anyways, now, I guess I'll leave, as you don't really want to tell me anything. And Tsunade said that she'll tell him things if he can beat her in a fight. Naruto would then raise an eyebrow and ask her, didn't you want to quit being a shinobi? And obviously Tsunade would then be, she'd eat her words and say, listen, I may want to quit being a shinobi, but I'll teach a little brat like you what it really means to be one. And Naruto would be actually happy about this. And he'd say, well, then teach away. Anyways, now, Naruto and Tsunade would be outside the little local pub, and Naruto would have already paid for them, as he was just that gentleman. Anyways, Tsunade and Naruto would begin their little skirmish, which Tsunade was able to get a few hits on Naruto, which actually hurt Naruto. Realizing how strong Tsunade is, Naruto would then go on the offensive, actually pushing her back quite a lot, and easily being able to overpower her, using the Flying Raijin to confuse her, and also using his 5 chakra natures, using 5 different clones, using 5 different chakra natures. And Naruto had such mastery over them that he didn't even need hand seals to use these jutsus. Tsunade would be more than impressed and ask Naruto what his true goal is. Is it to become Hokage? Is it to stop the shinobi stop the cycle of hatred? And Naruto would say to bring peace to the shinobi world, with a massive smile on his face, one that reminded Tsunade of her younger brother and her once lover. Obviously, Tsunade would realize that maybe this is the person that she should bet on. She realized she feels her streak of bad luck, changing. The winds have changed, as the Tsunade said, and this obviously shocked Shizune, as obviously Shizune would have realized what she means, as she told Naruto to get closer, giving him her necklace, saying that, I know you'll become someone great one day. and I bet everything on it. This was the necklace that my grandfather gave me, the first Okage. I hope you succeed in your dream. As Tsunade would then start walking away, and Naruto would say, how about you return to the Leaf Village? You know, you'd really be needed there. Tsunade said, I can no longer be a medical ninja. Unfortunately, I have a fear of blood. And Naruto would say that that she should get over it, as that's not what her true nature is. Obviously, Tsunade realizes that she's been running away from all of this, and Naruto would point out, running away is not the answer, Tsunade. I'm telling you this. I will treasure this gift from you, and I'll become something great. And make sure your bet does you don't lose this bet. And Tsunade would actually realize that Naruto may be right. However, for now, she would like to think over all of this. Now, Naruto would then take off to the inn, and the next morning, as Naruto was about to leave this town, after finding out everything about it, not really learning much other than, actually being the most successful he's been in a town by meeting Tsunade and learning about her past and everything. Naruto would start heading out until Tsunade would tell Naruto that she's going to try her best to become that once legendary Sannin once again. And Naruto would smile at her, turning around and just waving his hand as he would continue walking and walking and walking until he became a silhouette and eventually disappeared in the woods. Tsunade would shed a tear, realizing that was someone who, truly reminded her of the people she truly loved in her past. As she then told Shizune that they will be heading back to the Leaf Village soon, and thus she needs to get over her fear of blood. And she has the perfect plan for this. She decides to start becoming a medical ninja in different towns, travel, and eventually return to the Leaf Village. As Tsunade, one of the 3 legendary Sannin, the best healer of the 5 nations, one of the best Kunoichis to have ever lived. Anyways, that is where I'm going to end off. I hope you all enjoyed part 1 of What If Naruto's parents survived. And I hope this video reaches 100 likes. As once he does reach 100 likes, I will be uploading part 2 as soon as possible. As soon as I find some time, I will record part 2. Anyways, my ducklings, you're all dismissed. This was the King of Weaves here, and peace.